Hello, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to this Happy Hour Yin Yoga practice. Today we're going to be focusing on bringing a little energy. So if you're transitioning between your day life or your work life and your home life or your night life, then maybe you've had a day that's been really energy draining and you feel like you have nothing left to give. And in the evening, maybe you have some plans or something you're planning on doing and you need a little bit of energy to get you from that day life to the night life. This class we're going to be focusing on the kidney meridian, which runs the inside of the leg up into the belly and the chest. We're also going to be working with the adrenals and kidneys on the back, left and right side of your hips, right above the pelvis. So we'll be stretching those spaces as well. Only prop you might need would be a blanket for a couple of these poses, and it's just for your comfort, purely optional. So we're going to start in a tadpole pose. So with tadpole, we're going to bring the big toes together, take the knees super wide, as if we were coming into a wide child's pose, but a little wider than that. Sit up for a couple of breaths here, and then start to keep your hips low, but start to walk your hands out. Now, if this is too much for your feet, you can always turn the feet out and come into more of a frog version, or a baby frog. I would think it'd be more like an adolescent frog. Take some nice deep breaths. And just breathe in here. Let your breath be really full and rich. Bring a little bit more prana or chi or energy back into the body. Maybe your stressful day has made it so that it's difficult for you to take a really deep breath. Maybe you're yawning a lot right now, and you need that extra oxygen to kind of energize and enervate the body and mind. Maybe you find after a minute or so that you can rest your arms down lower, maybe your head on the floor, or maybe you're close there. You can stack your hands. Or maybe you're fine right where you're at. Here in this pose, try to breathe into the back side of the body, that space where the kidneys and the adrenals are. Giving them a little massage. Just about one more minute here. Gently start to lift up. You're going to press into your palms and shift one knee at a time into the center, a little bit closer. And just hang out here in a little more relaxed child's pose for a few breaths. Just seeing how it feels to come out of that pose. Gently lifting up and turning yourself around. So I'm going to use the blanket for a little prop for a half dragonfly underneath my hips. It's a little bit easier for me to do it that way. I'm going to take my right leg out straight to the side, my left leg in a little bit closer to the hip. It can be a little bit further out if that feels better for you. Relax that knee, twist a little bit so you get a little bit of stretch on those kidney and adrenal space, and turn over that right leg. Now you may get a lot further or you may be up nice and high. It doesn't matter which one you are. As long as you feel some sensation running the back side of the leg, the inner leg, and maybe a little bit into the back, you're right where you need to be. Remember to relax the muscles of the legs and hips. Start to walk those hands back in and lift back up very slowly. Take your hand and unwind that left leg. We're going to go right into the second leg before we take a little break. So bringing that right leg in, noticing the difference between left and right. It happens, it really does. It's a very different leg for me. Turn yourself over to the left, bounce that knee, let it get soft, and then start to walk your hands and fold over that left leg. Maybe this leg you fold deeper. Maybe this leg you don't fold as deep. That's okay. One hand on either side of the leg to give you just a little bit of twist action here to get deeper into the kidney adrenal space. Nice deep breaths into the right side body, lower back space. Just about one more minute here. Gently start to walk yourself back up to center. Unwind that right leg here too. Maybe taking the feet flat on the floor and dropping the knees side to side, or taking the legs straight if that feels better for you. Now, if you have tender knees, you might want to take a blanket or some kind of prop underneath the knees for dragon pose. So both knees on that blanket, starting with the right side first. We're going to take that right leg out in front. We're going to take a winged dragon. So both hands to the inside, walk that right foot out to the right, turn it out toward a right angle, and come down to wherever you want to be. Now that could be fingertips, palms, elbows, forearms, all the way down. It could be wherever you want to be. You can use whatever props here you need, maybe blocks if you have them, to give you a little bit of lift. Just about one more minute here. Nice deep breaths, 3-part breath, last few breaths here. Start to bring that foot flat. Slowly, ever so slowly, shift back into either downward facing dog or child's pose. Your choice here. If you're in down dog, you can walk your dog out, shaking your head out yes and no, finding a little stretch in the back of the legs, shifting the hips. And then coming down onto your knees again here, shifting into the other side. So left leg out, turning it out to the side, walking it over a little bit further, both hands to the inside. This side might be different, so you might be up on fingertips or cupcake hands. Nice deep breaths. Your day may have been very stressful, needing a lot of your energy. And now you just need this peaceful time to settle into your practice. Reconnect with your breath and your body. Gather your energy back in. Just a few more breaths. Very gently start to bring that foot flat. Shift back here again into downward facing dog or child's pose, whatever feels intuitive for you. I always feel like downward facing dog feels so good after dragon pose. And taking that blanket off to the side, you're going to come all the way down onto your belly. So I'm going to give you the option here. You can take Sphinx pose if seal pose is not your friend. Elbows underneath the shoulders, lifting the chest up and letting a little length come in there. Maybe you start here for a few breaths. And if this is really troublesome to your back or seal pose as well, you can take the feet a little bit wider. We're going to go ahead and walk the hands out if you'd like to come into seal pose. Turn the thumbs out just a little bit forward and lift up. Maybe your hands walk out a little bit further. Glutes aren't fully engaged. Once again, if this is too much, come back down into Sphinx. You're going to get the same stretch. If you're up in seal, let those elbows come out to the side. Come back into Sphinx pose, and whatever pose you're in, stack your hands on top of one another and rest your forehead on the back of your hands, rocking the hips gently side to side. Maybe even bending the knees and letting those feet drop side to side. And then whenever you're ready, rolling all the way onto your back for our next to the last pose. A little twist here. So taking the arms out to the side, palms up, elbows bend or not, your choice here. You're going to take the feet and walk them as wide as your mat or even off the edges of your mat. And just start to gently windshield wiper side to side a couple of times. When you next get over to the left, drop those knees over to the left. Here you can keep that knee down like that. You can stay right here, or you can take that left heel on top of that right thigh for a little bit more stretch in the lower back, hips. You can turn and look over your right shoulder or look straight up. Continue to gather up the energy that you have given away through the day or shared out. Start to pull the tendrils of that energy back into yourself. You need that. You need to bring it back to balance. Those that have needed your energy have received it throughout the day. And now it's time for you to reel it back in a little, refilling your cup in preparation for your evening and eventually for another day. Just one more minute here, nice deep breaths. Let the body soften just a little bit more. Take those 3-part breaths, maybe exhale through the mouth. Gently turn your head back to center. If you have that left leg on top of the right, unwind it. Bring those knees back through center. Bring those hands into the belly. Take a couple of breaths here with the knees dropped in toward each other in a tent type position. Noticing the difference between the left and right and how that right side feels in comparison. Maybe feeling any kind of energy flow or change in the energy overall. Taking those arms back out to the side. Here again, just windshield wipering real gentle. Giving yourself a little lower back massage. Who doesn't need that after a long day, right? And then dropping those knees over to the right this time. Here again, if you want to, you can take that right heel on top of that left thigh. You can turn and look over your left shoulder. Look straight up. Always at any time, if you feel like you have gone too far or too deep into a pose, feel free to back out a little bit. Find sensation, but not too much. Yin is not about pushing harder. It's about allowing the body and the mind to come to balance, to center. over these next couple of minutes, feel yourself completing that transition from your work life to your home life. Maybe putting a closure to the day, a cutting off point, a finality to it. Even if there are still projects that are in motion or things still happening in motion, you have done what you need to do today. It is time to rest and recover and become creative and open some space. When you do that, you are more productive the following day. Maybe you'll come up with new ideas to solve the problems of today. So let those go. Let them rest. Let your mind and body have this time and space to reboot. You need this time. You need it physically, you need it emotionally, and you definitely need it mentally. Just about one more minute here. Start to turn your head back to center. If you have that right heel on top of that left thigh, bring it off. Slowly bring those knees back through the middle. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Walk those feet a little bit further away from you and let the knees drop together, inching your upper body a little bit away from your hips, giving length to the spine. Maybe if it feels good, you can rock the pelvis, pressing the lower back into the floor and shift it away. A little different lower back massage. And then coming back to center. Nice deep inhales and exhale through your mouth. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Let yourself settle. Let yourself feel an energy bubbling in for the remainder of your day, whatever your plans may be. Maybe you begin to feel that sense of excitement for whatever your evening may hold. And know that excitement means even if you are having just a nice dinner at home, or hanging out with family, or maybe going out and having a dinner party, or going out with friends, feel that energy, that excitement for this downtime, this yin time in your life, the time to be creative and open and spacious. There is time for both. Starting to walk your feet a little bit closer together. On an inhale, take your arms up overhead and stretch through your spine, getting length. And exhale, roll over to your right side, resting your head on your right arm for a couple of breaths. And then gently pressing up to whatever seated position you like best. Eyes soft or closed. Hands down by your sides, sit up nice and tall. On your next inhale, sweep those arms all the way up, reach them super tall, and exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. May you have a wonderful evening time, or if you are someone who works a different shift, a daytime, whatever your personal life is, your home life, your friend life, your community life, may it be full and rich. And may you give all your energy, the energy that you have now, into that part of your life equally, in equal measure. We often spend a lot of our energy giving it all away to the work life, the day life, and there's nothing left over for this other part of our life. We want a little balance here. If you enjoyed this practice, please like and comment down below, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber by clicking that button right over to your right hand side. I would love to see you again very soon. If you would like to see practices like this and many, many more, you can join me at the yogaranger.bhx.tv. There's a link up above and down below. 7-day free trial, lots of classes on there, exclusives, as well as these YouTube videos remastered. So access to all the collection of the Yoga Ranger Studio and lots of fun stuff on there as well. So I would love to see you there. Have a great day.